5 ways to go from standing and from the takedown game directly into leg locks. Number 1, pulling standard Ashi or pulling single leg X. You can do this from a double leg, probably easiest to learn from a collar tie. So I've got a collar tie here, Richie's got a collar tie on me, we're each holding each other's biceps, and because we're guys, we're going to be pushing into each other. You in fact need him to be pushing into you a little bit. So I'm going to push him backwards until I feel resistance. At that point, I'm going to take my leg, I'm going to shoot it through his leg, and sit down. Notice how this knee is still up. Then I'm going to push him away and swing up to either single leg X or standard Ashi. I'm trying to connect my knee to my heel. I'm trying to lift my hips up. From here, I'm going to twist to the outside, the basic twist sweep. I'm going to control his foot with my elbow so it can't come out. I'm going to grab the Achilles here, and I'm going to bridge my hips forward to expose his heel. I connect my hands, I pull up towards my nose, then to finish it, I bridge forward. We do the same thing. Say we're here, we're pushing into each other. I kind of go for a double leg, but he starts sprawling. And I don't think I can finish it, but I see enough daylight here. I sit under. Very, very important to pull this knee up. I don't want him to land here. I don't want to pull mount. I want to pull single leg X. From here, single leg X is a whole thing unto itself. I'll post a link to some more resources. I want to lift my hips, I want to clamp my legs together, and I want to pivot my knees to face that way. Here, control the Achilles, bridge my hips forward to expose the heel, link my hands, standard outside heel hook. Number 2, attacking from the rear body lock. Somehow I get to the Richie's back. Maybe that's with an arm drag. I end up controlling the body. Maybe it's with a duck under here, where I go and I look up to the ceiling and then pivot. This is a high risk, high reward technique, but say he's really good at defending the back, or say we're really running out of time here in a match. I might want to go for the 50-50 position and finish with a very powerful leg lock from here. I'm going to kick my leg through his legs. I'm going to fall on that same side. So this leg goes forward and I fall here. Here. I control his leg with my hand and I swing up and get the 50-50. That's a lot of momentum to bring him down. The 50-50 is a very deep position. So we'll just cover the basics. He's hit the ground. I'm going to protect my own foot, at least for a second, from the heel hook, while controlling his ankle, coming around, exposing the heel, linking my hands. Now I've got an inside or a reverse heel hook. I bring the heel towards my nose, and very carefully, I bridge forward. Don't apply this one hard, as with all heel hooks. Catch, and then apply super slowly. This attack starts from a single leg takedown, but you don't think you can finish it into a takedown, or you prefer for some reason to go to the leg lock. We're going to go through the false reap to get to the leg lock. We get to the single leg however you normally like to get to a single leg. A simple way is to push the shoulder, headbutt him in the delt, and then come up on the single leg. But he's really good at defending this. So I'm going to sit down. Notice how my hand stays deep around his leg. It's like I'm doing a choke. I'm going to bring my other leg up and over here. Bring it up over the leg that I'm hugging and weasel it underneath his thigh. From here, I put the full rear naked choke on and I'm going to bridge up. It's kind of like a butterfly sweep. Now, depending what he does, there are multiple ways to finish the false reap. The simplest is just to walk this bottom leg out and come into the Kani Basami position. From here, I'm going to grab his heel like I'm leg locking it and roll through, which ends us up in the twisted 411 position, where I can now capture the heel and very, very carefully pinch my legs, stomp his foot, and bridge forward to finish. One more time just so you can see the details of what I'm doing. I'm pushing, I'm coming up for the single, I'm sitting down, and I'm going to kick my leg over and underneath his thigh. At this point, I'm going to kick him away, coming up onto my shoulder. Rich, could you disappear for a second, please? I'm here. I've got his leg hooked, and I've got his leg woven with this leg. I'm going to kick this way while coming up here. It's a bit like a butterfly sweep. It's that motion here. I'm going to kick him away. That lifts his leg. So I back walk here, and then I fall in to the Kani Basami position. There are multiple ways to finish this depending on what he does. Most common, I'm going to control the leg, and I'm going to come up to my knees, and I'm going to roll through. And if his leg were there, we would end up in a very powerful position. Let's just start in the false switch, please. Here, I'm choking his leg, going to kick him away, coming up like this. Now notice this leg walks that way. This leg is free. I can kick it in behind his leg. If his weight is forward, I'm going to come up onto my knees, controlling his foot, using it like a ratchet, pulling it over this way. That turns his whole body. Capture the toes in my armpit, capture his heel or his Achilles with the edge of my wrist, crunch down towards it, and then use the hips to apply. Number 4, upper body entanglement to flying Kani Basami, the most dangerous takedown that you will ever learn. So train this super carefully and remember to put a hand on the ground. I'll show you what I mean. Part 1, I get some kind of upper body entanglement. Either get an overhook or an underhook, doesn't matter. Number 2, I have to get our feet lined up like this. This won't work if we're square on to each other. Somehow, I have to circle us to here. Number 3, hand on the ground and foot goes across the hip at the same time. It's this. It's this. You don't want to just jump here. It's extremely dangerous for your training partner. So number 3, hand on the ground, foot across the hips. Number 4, this leg jumps up and comes behind his ankles and his calf. This is a very powerful leg locking position. If I want to keep my legs on the outside, especially this foot, I can go to a leg weave type submission where I pull his leg across, put in my armpit, come underneath here, triangle my own legs, and do a knee bar / ankle lock. Alternately, I can weave my foot inside here and control the far leg. And now, this is the 4-11 position. I've got the 4 with my own legs, and I've got his 2 legs under the 11. I've got other resources on the 4-11 position that you can check out. And from here, there's a number of ways to finish it. Most classically, I would pass this to the other side, which exposes the reverse heel hook. And if I stomp his leg there, I completely destroy his structure, and I finish it with one of the most powerful leg locks that exist. Be super careful when training this, super slowly, and put your hand on the ground as you do it. That'll prevent you from falling sideways on his knee or sideways on his ankle and breaking something. Number 5, the Viktor Roll or Viktor Nage, which comes from the old school Shuto and Sambo. So in the late 90s, this became popular. And everything old is new again. I'm sure some school will teach this and say, hey, look what we discovered. No, this has been around for a while. So you can do this from the overhook, but it's probably easier to learn from a lat grab. So say I'm in a 2-on-1 control. I reach across and control the lat and the wrist. Now I'm going to put my foot in here like an Uchimata throw, like a Kani Basami where I thread the leg. But I'm going to try to force Richie's shoulder down this way with my chest. We're here. Now I'm going to tuck my head towards this far foot. We're here. And I roll him over top of me. It's actually a pretty gentle throw. I capture the foot, control the heel, go to a knee bar. If he slips out, no problem. We're in the 4-11. I'm gonna finish the 411 here. The knee bar and the 411 are just a slight angle adjustment away from each other. So whichever you prefer. Classically, this is finished with a knee bar, but the heel hook is even more powerful.